and we're gonna run. Welcome everybody. Invite everybody to please turn off their phones, and if you haven't signed in, we sign in at the back there. Welcome everybody here. June 27, 2023. It is 3 p.m. We're in the County Commission chambers. Welcome everybody. We'll start today with prayer by Mike Wilkins and pledge by Barbara Simper. And we're gonna run. Welcome everybody. Invite everybody to please turn off their phones.
Come before this afternoon as this public body. We ask that thy spirit and guidance will be with these commissioners to do what's best for our community. Father, we're thankful for the freedoms we enjoy. We're thankful for our first responders that protect us and are there to help us out. Father, we're thankful for our law enforcement and especially our military that's overseas protecting our freedoms as the seasons continue this time of years. Father, we ask thee be with us this day now and do this in the name of thy Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, Mike and Barbara. We got an extra large agenda today, so we'll try to keep things moving. Approval of the minutes, June 12th and June 13th. Do I have any questions or comments or motions?
I would make a motion that we approve the minutes of June 12th work session and June 13th regular commission meeting.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Warrants, Mike.
Commissioners, I have two sets of warrants today. The first one, June 14th, in the amount of $779,840.63. We did pay our monthly health insurance this month, or this paycheck, but we also had a payment to BHI on the construction project with down at Western Park, $132,356.21. Warrants from June 22nd, in the amount of $176,539.42. Nothing big on that one, Commissioners. I do have one that I want to present as a claim. This is a bill that has been with Sprint Services. It's been turned over to Source Receivables Management. This was on the old Judge Petrie's cell phone. We've been trying to get canceled ever since she left. Anyway, it's check number 386610, in the amount of $286.61.
All righty. Any questions, comments, motions?
I'd make a motion to approve the claim.
Got a motion?
I'll second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed. Tax matters, Mike?
I don't have any tax matters until Board of Equalization.
Okay. Uintah Daggett County CJC VOCA Governing Board presentation. Kylyn Beatty. See her here. Okay, she's not here. Okay.
Move her to the bottom.
I hope she don't get another chance.
Table.
All right. VOCA presentation for the attorney's office. Angie Simper.
She's homesick.
Okay.
She's not here.
Indigent defense.
And Lance is here.
Uintah County, the Public Defender Office has a grant award. I'm Lance Dean. I think I'm supposed to do that. We received a grant award from the Indigent Defense Commission, and there's a grant award agreement that I'm asking for the commissioners to sign. Basically, the grant award for this next year is going to be $390,810. The county side spending will be $651,170. It's basically a 40-60 split. It was a little less than 40% what our grant was because of the commissioner's generous raises that came to my assistant and myself. So we're asking that this would be ratified by the county.
All righty, any questions, comments, motions?
I would make a motion that we approve the Indigent Defense Commission grant contract.
Thank you.
Have a motion.
I'll second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed.
Thank you.
Thank you. Defense Service Providers. Lance Dean again.
I don't have the copies of that, but what has occurred is we extended the contract for Bo Blackley, who's a district court attorney, and for Jessica Peterson, who is in the juvenile court system, because their contracts had expired, and we also wanted their contracts to end on the same time frame, the same calendar year that all the other attorneys are on. So we had that. I wasn't sure that I was supposed to have that ratified, but I do.
Okay.
I don't have that paperwork with me, but we extended it. It's under the same terms and conditions, just for another time, just for longer time.
All right. Okay, any questions, comments, or motions?
I'd make a motion that we approve the Defense Service Providers Contract Amendment.
Have a motion.
I'll second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion passed.
Just for clarity, Ty, did you get those names? Was that clear enough? Yes. On that? And then for the term, we're extending it for another year, or was there a different term?
To the end of this
I
year?
think we're doing it for another 6 months, so everybody's going to be on the same.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure we had it clear on what the extension was gonna be.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Oh, okay. Hello. We went past you, but we'll go ahead and have you come up now if you want, Kylyn, if that's all right. Not to put you on the spot right off the bat.
I catch my breath.
Oh, no, that's CJC VOCA Governing Board presentation, I guess, sir.
So I'm gonna actually give these to you, so just so you can see the stats that
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
State your name just in case.
I will. Okay. Good afternoon. My name is Kylyn Beatty. I am the director of the Uintah and Daggett County Children's Justice Center, also known as the CJC. Sorry, I have to catch my breath running up the stairs. So the mission of the Children's Justice Center is to provide a comfortable, neutral, child-friendly atmosphere for children to receive coordinated services during the child abuse investigative process. Our CJC uses a variety of funding sources to provide services to our community. One of the funding sources is our VOCA grant. This grant currently funds our victim service coordinator and our clinical coordinator positions. Additionally, the grant funds therapy services for victims and non-offending family members. These services are accomplished through a contract with our local counseling agencies. So I'll just give you some statistics from our VOCA grant. This will be pretty quick, but you guys have the numbers to follow along. So for the period of July 1, 2022 to June 30, 2023, so that's in a few days, we have a few things to put in there. So the data, we are estimating the numbers to be higher, but total numbers of individuals served, which include primary and secondary victims and non-offending family members who receive VOCA funded services during the reported period, were 585. Types of victimization served, listed in the highest to lowest, were child physical abuse or neglect, child sexual abuse and assault, domestic violence or family violence, and teen dating victimization. The CJC also saw 21 other allegations within this year that did not fall into one of those provided categories. So that's just kind of a overview of the type of victimization that we see and what VOCA funds for those services. VOCA funded staff have provided many services. They have been broken down into different categories. This includes 555 for information and referrals, $424 for personal advocacy and accompaniment, $553 for emotional support and safety, and $99 for criminal civil justice, and then an additional 151 services not in those categories. So that further is broken down in those stats that you have. I won't share all of that, but I did want to highlight that through our VOCA funds, we have referred more than 109 individuals to therapy, and we have funded over 490 individual counseling sessions for those victims in those categories that I talked about earlier. So that's just kind of a quick overview of what we were able to accomplish with our VOCA funds, what that grant has done for us over this last year. We applied to renew that grant for the next 2-year cycle. We'll figure out, they'll give us our allocations soon, but this is what we've done in the last year with that. The center and myself specifically are very grateful for VOCA grant that allows us to serve this population. And we're also grateful for our community partners in county that help support our CJC.
I had a quick question. Sorry,
Go ahead.
is that all right?
Nope, you bet.
In the statistics of what all the numbers in each area, are the child sex abuse and assault, could they be the same as child physical abuse or neglect?
Yes.
Or are those totally separate ones? Like, could they have been
They
a
could have
child
been seen
abuse,
for
but
both.
also was sexual abuse?
So this
Okay.
is the count of the allegations that we've seen. So each allegation count is separate. It could be seen
Individual.
for the same child.
Okay.
I think it says down on the bottom, number of individuals who presented more than one victimization was 40.
Okay.
Okay.
So thank you.
Can you break this out next year for Daggett County versus us on how many clients they had? That'd be helpful.
Yeah, I can run those reports.
All right. Well, hey, we appreciate you. Any other comments, questions? It's great service that you guys are doing over there, and I will maybe remember your name. I've called her the wrong name, but no, we appreciate you, and thank you, and tell everybody thank you for what they're doing.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah.
Are you ready to do Angie's part?
No, not quite.
All right, John Stearmer, number 8, interlocal agreement.
Yes, Commissioners, as was talked about yesterday, we now have for your approval a resolution to approve an interlocal agreement with Naples City for the Uintah County Attorney's Office to provide prosecutorial services for Naples City. If there are any other questions, we can go over that. Right now it's for a term of 1 year for $40,000. It'll be made in 2 equal installments, one on August 10th, 2023, and one on February 10th, 2024.
Okay, no, I think that's a good deal, and I think it'll work great for us and them both. So any other comments, questions, motions?
I would make a motion that we approve resolution 06-26-2023 R1, the interlocal agreement for municipal prosecution legal services with Naples City.
Have a motion.
Oh, in the amount of $40,000, and it's a 1-year contract.
Okay,
I'll second.
second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passed.
Thank you.
All right, guess you're the next one too, John.
Okay, let me move that one over. Okay, Commissioners, this one, again, we've talked about at length, both in administrative meetings with various stakeholders across the county and the basin, and then also in commission meeting yesterday. It's the strategic plan that deals with not only opioid treatment, but then also pre-sentencing, specialty drug courts, and having, let me find the next one. And the last one, we have pretrial services, and there was one more. The receiving center. There we go. I couldn't pull that one from my brain. I needed to actually read it. So you all have had this for review, and so it's up for approval.
Okay, any questions, comments? And then I'd entertain a motion.
I would make a motion to adopt the strategic plan to Utah's Commission on Criminal Juvenile Justice as presented by Attorney Stearmer.
Got a motion?
I'll second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Okay, thank you.
Scott Hardman, Forest Service Road Maintenance Agreement.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. I have this agreement with the Forest Service. It's the annual agreement that we have every year. And it was Scott Hardman, Road Department, sorry. Forgot to mention that. Anyway, same agreement we have every year. Nothing's changed other than one administrative change in Section 9. And then we have our meeting with the Forest Service. So the notes on the meeting that we hold every year. So that's the only change.
That's the only change?
I did present this to John. He looked it over.
Okay.
And so should be good.
All righty. Any questions, anybody? All right, I'd look for a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the Forest Service Road Maintenance Agreement as presented.
Got a motion?
I'll second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passed. Thank you.
Do you have a copy or do you need this copy?
No, if you have one, that'd be great.
Need signed and passed down to him. County of signature, I think.
Miss Silcox, you're on for Western Park.
Indeed,
I think, does it go
John,
to
did you
John?
see that? And then Michael probably wanted
Yeah,
after
they'll
we're all
need a
set.
copy for the clerk's office.
All right, Melanie.
Okay, Melanie Silcox with Western Park. I have the annual Dinosaur Roundup Rodeo contract asking for approval. Everything is the same as we typically do, with the exceptions of the 3 lines that we can add or change for each individual event. John Stearmer has reviewed this. The only thing that we did change was on, let's see, on line 2, let's see. Nope, line 1, sorry. On line 1 was because, talked to Johnny Miller, because of the high-risk event that they're doing at the end for the Bubble Ball Bowl. And so he had us add that the general aggregate insurance that we usually require from them is a $5 million general aggregate. And he asked that we add to be indemnified even if somebody were to claim that over the $5 million. And so we did add that they were responsible for any and all claims above that if something were to arise.
Okay, all righty. John, anybody? John and John?
No, just go watch some YouTube videos about this. It's
Last year
fantastic, and I'm glad it's not me.
last
I
year
signed
was
you up for it.
quite entertaining.
I think they said they made a few adjustments. I'm hoping it's to the bull's horns in this case, so that they don't have.
It's to the gate. They'll be able to exit this year.
Oh, well, I just meant, because they let some bulls in there with some pointed pokey horns. I don't think that's really safe if you're in an air bubble.
I mean, let's be honest. If you're entering it, you don't really care.
The prize money wasn't
I mean,
worth
I'm
it.
paying to enter that good event, so.
And I didn't know, what is our contract amount? Or
They pay us $21,000
from this?
from this rodeo.
Okay, that's what they're contracting with us to pay us, 21,000.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
All righty, any questions, comments, any more motions?
I'd make a motion to approve the Dinosaur Roundup Rodeo contract.
Have a motion.
I will second that motion, just adding that it is for 21,000, if that's okay.
Yes, that's fine with me.
All right, a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passed.
Thank you.
All right, Brenda McDonald, she's not here, we'll move on. Unless anybody's here to represent her. Oh, are you?
Yeah,
Darn.
I'm covering.
Okay, all right.
Brenda? Yes, yes. She has never looked so awful in her whole entire life. So, okay, so commissioners, again, because we have gone over this stuff in our work session meetings, we've already talked about this ordinance. It's a requirement from the state of Utah for us to, specifically the county recorder, to abide by the state's county recorder standards board and standards that they will adopt sometime in the future. They are still getting up and running based off of the new law. And then we're required as a county to adopt an appeal authority. We've talked about that language in work session, so I won't belabor those points, and it's here for your approval. I will state it is with the changes that Brenda asked for the insertion of possessory states county recorder standards board throughout the document. And I took out 2 of the whereas clauses. Everything else is ready to go.
Okay, any questions or comments?
I know there was something that you said she had removed. Is that the whereas clauses or something else that you had? And that's also?
No, it was the date. She had, in her edit back to me, she had put today's date, but I wanted that to reflect yesterday's date because that's the start of the legislative history for the ordinance.
I think I was referring more to some kind of a narrative that explained why they did the
Oh,
ordinance.
those were the whereas clauses.
Oh,
that we
okay.
took out.
That's,
Okay.
okay.
All right, do I have a motion?
I would make a motion that we approve ordinance numbers 06-26-202301, adding Title II, Chapter 2.10, Appeal Authority of County Recorder.
Order. Okay, we have a motion.
I'll second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passed. All right, Deanna. We'd had enough of Matt yesterday, so you were glad to see you. Sorry, Matt.
Okay, so we've received 2 applications to vacate county right-of-ways. And before I present them, these are public hearings, and I just want to know if you want me to present them each separately and have their own public hearing, or present both of them and then have a public hearing together for both. So 2 public hearings or 1,
Do one at a time.
doesn't matter.
Just see what.
Oh, are you looking? Oh.
Not-
No, it doesn't matter. If we had a whole long list and there were a lot of people in the room, it might be hard to keep track of the
Distinguish.
comments, but I think we can do it all in one public hearing.
All righty.
All right. Okay, so the first one is a portion, do you want me to wait till, does it not come up?
There it is.
Okay. All right. Okay, so this road is located near the Dinosaur National Monument in the Jensen area. It is, what was my thing? There was an application turned in by Eric and Lisa Middleton and Matt and Valerie Simons. The road leads from some BLM land on the north through the Simons and Middleton properties down to Cleve and Elaine Karen's property. And yesterday at the work session, I mentioned that we wanted to vacate clear through that property of Karen's. The notice that was sent out didn't include that portion of the road, so we are just proposing to vacate what was actually applied for through the Simons and Middleton properties and ending at the Karen property. So that's the only difference from yesterday. The notices went out to neighbors, to UDOT, and to a pipeline that's on those properties that we thought might need the road for access. We heard back from UDOT. They say they have no issues, and we haven't heard any other comment.
I just wanted to clarify on that one. I believe we established, though, that they have the pipeline easement, and so they would be able to come onto the
To
property.
access their pipeline, right.
Okay.
Yep. Do I need to go over the items of concern again? That there are the 2 properties that were left without access to county roads. And it was determined yesterday that that's something that is up to, it's the applicants that are applying to vacate the road. So they are aware that they're leaving themselves without that access to the county road. Okay, the second road to be vacated is actually 2 roads. The first half of the road is through the Bankston's properties here and here. Second road starts about halfway through the Bankston property, through the McKee property, and through Durant. And we are proposing to vacate both of those roads in entirety. They both have access, both properties, all properties have access to Class B county roads. And this road here, the 47471, doesn't appear to be in use at all. The other one's just an access for the Bankstons to reach their property. And that is in the Tridell area. Notices were sent as well to property owners and to UDOT, and UDOT was fine with it. And that's my portion, if you want to open
I
the
did have
public.
one other question, I forgot. Will you go up to the Simons Bankston? Or is that what it was?
Yeah.
Simons
As in-
Middleton. Now, where it's removing a county road to access, it looks like the Simons would be able to access theirs from that Beans
The
draw.
Bean Draw Road.
But the Middletons, do they have another way to access either one of those properties, just from this one in the front then? Is
So
that what
there's
it
a
is?
Class D
Okay.
county road that comes in here, and that's what they actually are using now
Okay,
to get to their home.
that's all
And then their properties are connected from there.
thank you.
Alrighty.
So that's all I have there.
All right, we ask for public comment on this at this time?
Then you need to open the public hearing.
Okay.
And then whoever is here can come up. Yep.
All right, well, at this time, we'll open the public hearing on these road vacations, and if anybody's here from the public that wants to come up and speak, they can.
Can I add, just for clarity, if you do come up, can you state which road that you're discussing? Not only name, but which road?
Okay. All right, so we'll go ahead now, and do we
Close.
do the motion during?
No, close.
Nope,
Close-
if there's
we'll
no
close it.
comments, then you would close the public
Okay.
hearing.
All right. Seeing no comments, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing. And then now we'll go ahead and do the ordinance vacating the portions of certain, okay? All right, if there's no other questions or comments, we'll go ahead and entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I'd make a motion to vacate the county roads as presented belonging to Eric and Lisa Middleton, known as Uintah County Road 090302K, Township 5 South, Range 23 East, in Section 4. And the road, vacate the road to Anna and Larry Bankston with county roads 53612 and 47471. Township 1 North, Range 1 East, Section 36. There has been other property involved in both of these roads, but the landowners have agreed and approved their portions.
Do the ordinance number too, down below. The next number,
And that number 15,
14.
14 ordinance, we'll need to read the ordinance number in there.
So do I need to present each of those ordinances individually and?
No, so on the motion, how about we do this?
Okay.
Commissioner Larson, if this would be good.
I can do this.
If you do a motion to approve and then just read off all three ordinances, and then that will cover it, because then in ordinances, it talks about exactly which roads. So it'd be a motion to approve ordinance number 0626, 2003, 03, 04, and 05. And that's all you would need to state.
Sounds like just what you said.
Done deal. No. Okay, I'd also approve ordinance 06-26-202303, ordinance 06-26-202304, and ordinance 06-26-2023.
05, or does it need the 05?
05, I'm sorry, I missed that, yep, 05.
All right, we have a motion.
I will second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed. Boy, that wasn't as painful as I thought it was maybe gonna be. But okay. Oh dear, Matt,
You have 3 minutes, Matt.
a minute and a half.
For today, don't worry. I got enough grief yesterday, so I'll bring that one back later when you guys forget about it.
Make sure you notify me that so I can approve when it is on the agenda.
Yeah. Okay, today, Matt Kazir with Community Development Office. Today on the agenda, we have a final plat application for Hideaway Lane. This is a 21-lot subdivision located at 1299 North, 1500 West. It's owned by Delmer Hyde and Troy Anderson. The zoning on the property is RA1, residential agricultural. This is the property here. So this is 1500 west here, 1500 north up here. And so they're south there, 1500 north a little bit. You can kind of see they started work. They've been working on this since last year. So they started work last fall and then kind of worked through the winter as much as they could, I guess, and then finished it up this spring. This is the zoning RA1. You can see most of the property around there is RA1. This is what the subdivision will look like. And sorry, it's 22 lots. I must have messed up on the agenda that I sent to Ty. Sorry about that. But it is 22 lots. And they'll have a hammerhead turnaround at the end of the street. These little easements here, these little hammerheads on the north and south side of the street will go away once that road is picked up by a neighboring property owner or something and taken further. Those would go away. So they do have a storm drain system that is underneath the road. So there are inlet boxes in the road that capture the water and put it underneath the road. That system has been looked at by Scott, I believe, with the road department, and is in conformance with the plans that were approved. So with this final plat, what they're doing is they wanted to do most of the infrastructure that they could first before they put the bond in place. And so the bond that is needed now is just for the warranty period, which is right around $80,000. And then just a few things like street signs, one street light, and a little bit of funds to do that hammerhead turnaround at the end. So that's the only thing that we're still waiting for. But once this is approved, they'll have 6 months to get all of that squared away before the plat can be recorded. I did see that he does have the plat here, it looks like. So if he doesn't have all the signatures at this point, he'll have time still to get that. It doesn't need to be within, a few days or something. He does have some time. So with that, and talking, I just talked to Scott yesterday in passing in the hall, and he was saying that there's little pieces of curb maybe that are missing around the storm inlet boxes in the curb. But he felt like the $80,000 in warranty money would cover those costs if for some reason the developer defaulted. The other thing that they have to bond for is the sidewalks. It sounds like they're gonna put those in as homes are built. And I have sent the bond letter to Mr. Hyde, and so he's aware of what's needed there. He's indicated that he's gonna do a cash bond that the county will hold. And then as sidewalk gets completed, we can release portions of the funds. And then once the road and the curb and gutters done and the street signs are in, the county could accept that road. And then the warranty money would have to be in place for 2 winter seasons. And then Scott would do another inspection and make sure that everything was holding up well. And then that money could be released if there's no needed repairs. So with that, I think that's where we're at. This has been recommended by the Planning Commission for approval back in March of last year. And so it's here before you. This will probably be the last one that comes before you because of changes in state law. So kind of changing of an era, I guess, in a way. But yeah, I think that's all I've got on this one, unless you have questions.
Okay, questions?
I do have questions.
I do too.
To come up, they have an engineer draw the plans for this and like the storm drain and all that.
Yes.
Is that anything that is checked to make sure as part of the new state stuff? It is. Maybe I'm not talking into it. Is that something that they will check? You'll check with an engineer to make sure, or do you just look to make sure it meets our ordinances and codes?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So it'll be checked by the county to make sure that it complies with county code. So different departments or utility companies on those design and engineering drawings. It's going to be a very similar process for that, other than it won't. The final plat cannot come before the Planning Commission or the County Commission, per the new state law. So, but as far as the design and engineering, yes, that's going to be checked by the same people that have been checking it.
And the sidewalks, the value that you have them bond for, how do you come up with that?
Yeah, so it's either through an engineer's estimate, or in this case, Delmer had a bid from a contractor on what they are charging him for that.
Okay.
And then we had 10% that's held either as a warranty or to make sure that there's sufficient funds to put all the improvements in. So
That's the one thing I was gonna say is, and they have how long to complete this?
so it's generally 2 years, but they could go longer if the county's okay with that. And typically when we have a cash bond, we've generally been okay with them taking a little longer on the sidewalks, because they'll put those in with each house, so that they don't get broken and they have to re-put them in, pay twice for it.
That makes sense. I just know from past experience that I think the city might have changed their bond to 1.5 times because of the time that they have to complete it and how costs could increase over that time.
Yeah, they'll have to
So
change it back now. They can't go over 10% now with the new state law.
They just pay whatever the bid is plus 10%.
Yep,
for
and
the
that's
bond.
that's what ours has been for ever since I've been around. And so,
Interesting.
but the new state law says you can't go more than 110% now.
What about the years that you have to give them to complete it then? Can you change that?
You could, yeah, you could change that.
Okay.
Okay.
Just curious if
Yeah,
that changes, because like I've seen it happen to the city
right.
where we got caught with a bond that wasn't even close to paying for just putting the infrastructure in a subdivision that they defaulted on.
Right.
So I just don't want the county to get caught in the same situation.
Yeah, and so those changes will be coming to you guys here in the next couple months. So,
Not saying this
but
subdivision.
yeah, no, this one's good because he has most of the infrastructure in. So,
Okay.
if he defaults now, after he posts that bond, there'll be more than enough to finish up what's there. So,
Okay.
We've had this issue before. Where am I gonna turn my fire truck around?
That's the hammerhead.
yeah, so this is the Hammerhead turnaround. It was approved by the fire district.
Okay,
So,
that was my question.
and then once it gets put in, the fire marshal will go out and make sure it's properly signed and designated and is properly built, because they're generally gravel or road base, and so he'll make sure it's sufficient for what he needs there.
Okay. Any other questions, comments, motions?
I would make a motion that we approve the final plat application for Hideaway Lane subdivision, 22 lot subdivision at 1299 North, 1500 West. Serial number 04-082-0068 and serial number 04-082-0070.
Okay, we have a
I will
motion.
second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passed. All right, I guess you got the next one, Matt, streetlight agreements.
Yeah, so this was talked about at the work session yesterday. This agreement is between Uintah County and Rocky Mountain Power. And what it is it's to change all the streetlights that the county currently pays for to Rocky Mountain Power from incandescent or some other type to LED. There are a total of 142 lights that will be changed out. And the agreement will cost the county $54,719.42. And based on the savings that we'll see from the conversion, we'll be saving roughly $15,385 a year. And so that'll take about 3.5 years to recover the money that will be spent on the conversion.
Okay, any questions, comments?
I think we just wanted to note also that this won't be an expense that'll come out of the county's coffers, I guess you'd say, that Rocky Mountain erroneously continued to bill us for lights that weren't in place. And so we do have a credit to the county, and it will more than cover this $54,719.42, and then we will still have an additional credit that will be returned to the county. So
All right. Do I have a motion?
I would make a motion, we approve the street light agreement with Rocky Mountain Power as presented.
I have a motion.
I'll second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed. All right. Teagan. Oh, there you are. Thanks, Matt.
All right, I'm Tegan Troutner with the Uintah County Attorney's Office, and I was asked to look at the lease agreement with the Golden Age Center that was dated on August 1st of 2011. And basically, I was requested to see if it was possible that the county no longer has one specific room at the Golden Age Center for its exclusive use. And after looking at all the clauses, the financials, and the rest of the original agreement, it looks like that is permissible to do. The county just has to approve it, and then so does the Uintah Healthcare Special Service District because they're the lessee in the agreement. So Uintah County still owns the Golden Age Center, but with this amendment, the Uintah Healthcare Special Service District would be leasing the entire Golden Age Center. So the provisions that were amended were 2.01, and that's just basically saying that the Special Service District now has the exclusive use of the Golden Age Center for all of it. And then 2.02, so that was a provision that was stating what the county's exclusive use was. So basically we're rescinding that. We're just basically saying that we relinquish our exclusive use. And then the other sections that were modified were 4.01, which is in reference to the maintenance. And so now the Special Service District will be, they have to provide all the maintenance for the Golden Age Center. And that includes the facilities, the grounds, and everything with it. And then we also amended 4.03, which now says that the Golden Age Center will provide all the janitorial services. So before the county was still providing services, janitorial services for that one specific room, and then we were also providing maintenance for part of it as well. And now the Special Service District would be providing all of the maintenance and the janitorial services. So if this is approved, then it would need to go before the Special Service District Board for their approval as well.
Great. Well, I think it streamlines it. It makes it a little more efficient all the way around. Makes it better for the public. So I don't have any other comments. Anybody have any comments? Yeah, would entertain a motion.
I'd make a motion to approve the amendment to the Golden Age Senior Center lease agreement, amendment number 1.
Okay, have a
Second.
motion. Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed. Dean, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, Zeke Atwood, Utah agreement with Utah Department of Ag and Food. Whoop, did I skip somebody? Oh, it depends on how fast you can talk. Okay, all right.
All right. Nate Belliston with the weed control.
Okay.
This grant agreement is very similar to what we had about 3 years ago. Basically what it is a pass-through agreement, or pass-through kind of a grant. This is for $53,328 for the control of Russian olive, Scotch thistle, hoary cress, leafy spurge, salt cedar, and pepperweed along Ashley Creek. And that's up here around the 500 North in Vernal, along the Ashley Creek there. And also down in Jensen from Highway 40 down, and then also a little bit along the Green River. Basically what there is a couple of landowners that have agreed to do mechanical removal of these, of specifically the Russian olive and the salt cedar. And then I'll go in and help them out with the chemical treatment of those, as well as the Scotch thistle and all the other weeds that were mentioned. But with this grant from the Utah Department of Agriculture, they want to pass it through a county where all this money is going to go to these landowners doing the work, other than 10% for our administrative costs here. So, fast enough? Have any questions? Did I cover it well?
No, I think that got us covered there, and I think it's a good opportunity to get a little estate's money out here to help with this stuff.
Was this in your budget, or we need to make adjustment? And will it be spent this between now and December?
Okay, so this is going to be from July 1 to June 30 for the state's fiscal year.
When are we gonna spend it?
And
This-
then,
This
so-
calendar year or next?
So this is coming from Utah Department of Ag and being passed through us.
You haven't answered my question.
Okay.
Are you gonna spend it before December 31st of 2023,
Not all of it. It'll be spent by June 30 of next year.
next year? So part's gonna
Yeah.
be this year, part's next year?
Right.
Because I'm preparing for a budget increase here in the next 20, 30 days, so if you would get with me on that one.
Okay. However, we need to work that, so.
Okay.
Yep.
All righty. So you're needing a motion for an agreement of this grant.
Right.
Okay, all right. Any questions, comments? Motions?
I would make a motion that we approve this grant agreement with the Utah Department of Agriculture and Food for $53,328.
328.
Okay.
Okay.
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passed. Thanks, Nate. All right, we are in the need of some board appointments at this time. Oh, let me just, I got all kinds of signing. All right, I'll pass it. Okay. We have some need for board appointments at this time for the library board. Sonia?
Yep. I work with the library. Did you want to come up and say anything, Sam?
Commissioners, as you know, Sam Passy for the record. As you know, we have a 7-member library board. They are appointed by the county commission. In the room right now, we have Susan Horrocks. She's on the library board. Right now, we have 2 positions that are open. Kim Ropp had to step down from the library board. She's busy being grandma. And then also, we have Vale Beatty, whose first term is over. The bylaws and library ordinance lets members serve 2 consecutive terms if the commission reappoints them. The terms are for 4 years, and so we're right now looking for 2 board members for 4-year terms, and I believe we had a good number of candidates. Any more than 1 candidate is considered a good number when it comes to the library board usually. We want to thank Kim for her service and the rest of our library board members for their service. And, you know, it can be a heavy load at times, but generally it's a very rewarding, positive experience. And the board members get to help set the library policy, the mission and vision and goals of the library. And what that boils down to is helping children and adults have the materials that they need to learn, grow, and discover, and the books and resources that they need. And we really appreciate all of our library board members and the commission's work in thoughtfully appointing people that can help us out.
Okay. All right. With that being said, you
I
have
have
comments or?
2 appointments.
Well, okay. Well, okay. All right. All right. If that being said, would you, Sonia, would like to make a motion for who we put on?
Yes, I would like to make a motion to reappoint, I guess, Vale Beatty to a 2nd term, and both of these would run from July 1st of 2023 to June 30th of 2027, 4-year term. So I would like to reappoint Vale Beatty and appoint Mary Fontes as the other member to fill the opening.
Same time frame, so we have a motion. And a second?
I'd second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passed. Okay, Children's Justice Center. I don't know if we need,
I know who that belongs to.
all right, don't know.
Sure.
You know, I had somebody bragging on one of your employees over there, and I can't remember their name, but anyway. Sorry about that. I know it, so, you know, but they was some gal, I had somebody last week bragging on one of your employees over there.
Good. I'll tell them all they did a good job. So kind of the same thing. We have a vacancy in our community at large spot on our advisory board for the Children's Justice Center. The advisory board, it's kind of what it says. It advises, helps advise over financial decisions, policy, and just general decisions that we make that affect the center. So we only have one right now that to fill multiple spots, but Corey Foley has applied to do that, and we think he would be a great fit. I know he's on a lot of other boards and a lot of other things, but he seems really passionate about what we do there, and I think it would be great.
Good.
Thank you.
All right.
I would nominate Corey Farley to fill position of Children's Justice Center.
Okay.
What is that term? Is that a
I'm
four-year?
sorry, that's a 2-year term starting July 1 this year, ending
Okay.
July 1 or June 30th, 25.
Okay, we have a
Thank you.
motion.
I'll second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed. All right. We are now in need of a Board of Equalization, so we will recess into that. And at the time being, when we are through, we will reconvene. Am I getting this correct, John? How to come in and go here? So, okay. All right. Mike.
Okay, Commissioners, as the clerk of the Board of Equalization, the county assessor has found corrections that she needs to make in the original assessment roll. She's provided a list of those stipulations and at this point requests that we make that adjustment. The original value is $486,651. This is the total of 20 parcels. Stipulated value $459,651, a difference of $27,000. So it's not large, but we need to do these before we send out the valuation notices so that the landowners then, property owners, can then see the correct numbers and go from there.
Okay. And, John, do we do the motion to do that now or public comment? Yep.
No, it's just, you can just have your motions right now.
Okay. All right.
Oh, I didn't have my mic on. You can do the motions right now.
All right. Well, okay. Any questions or comments? We'll go ahead and look for a motion.
I would make a motion that we approve the assessor's stipulations as presented in the amount of, well, from $486,651 to $459,651 for 20 parcels.
Correct.
Okay. Got a motion?
I'll second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed. All right. Mike,
The
you
next
again, I
one,
guess.
Commissioners, is serial number 06-114-0035. This individual sold part of her property off, leaving down to 5.19 acres. According to Greenbelt, it's got to be 5.5, but there's also a stipulation in the code that if someone makes 80% of their income on the 5 acres, it can go down to less than the 5.5 acres with a home site on it. This individual has proven to my satisfaction and to county assessor's satisfaction, and he does raise his living off of this property. So it's up to the county commission, up to the Board of Equalization to approve this waiver for Greenbelt, to put him back on, put him on Greenbelt.
Okay.
We're waiving the 5-acre requirement. Sorry,
All right.
that's what the code says.
All righty. Any questions, comments, or motions?
I'd make a motion that we approve this Greenbelt exception waiver for serial number 606-114-0035.
Have a motion?
I'll second that.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we're adjourned out of B&E and back into regular commission meeting.
For a second.
Okay, and now
All three of us?
we are going to recess for Municipal Building Authority, which turns the time over to John as the chairman.
Thank you. I'm the chair of the Municipal Building Authority. Today we have to appoint board members. Board members that are being,
Just you sign.
How about now? Okay, we're here to appoint board members, 3 board members. By our rules, the board members will be the 3 commissioners, Sonia Norton, Brad Horrocks, and John Larson.
But you'll serve as what? You're chairman? He's vice chairman and I'm secretary?
Sure, that'll work. We are.
Yeah.
And the terms are till the end of their
Elected term?
elected positions.
Okay, I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion. We have a vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, passed.
Okay.
The second thing is the adoption of the purchasing policy of Uintah County.
Just to say, John, do they need to do that by motion or just make it known?
For the purchasing policy or for the?
No, sorry. You're good. I was writing one intention. You're good, sorry.
This is to adopt the purchasing policy of Uintah County, which was recently written. I apologize, I don't know the ordinance number or the policy number, but it is new, updated, and we're ready to rock and roll with it. So I would entertain a motion. Do I need a motion? Do I need a motion?
Yeah,
okay.
we want to adopt it by motion.
Mike's got me confused. I just have the motion for this.
I get to make the motion. I'll make that motion.
Okay, second?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Vote.
Aye.
Motion passed. Okay, I'd like to adjourn the MBA and reconvene the committee meeting, or the commission meeting.
Okay, at this time, we'll entertain any public comment. Want to appreciate everybody for being here. It's been a great meeting. See you leaving or coming? Okay. Got to put that hat on like you was headed out the door. All right. So we have so many of them standing in line. Go ahead.
Yeah, you haven't had any for a while, so I figured we needed to break it. Willis Lefevre. I've become even more aware and acutely aware of what goes behind the scenes in the county and stuff, and the other boards and things that kind of serve there. And I know there's not many of them here, but the Planning and Zoning Board, and the Library Board's has a busy time lately, and these boards work really hard. So I want to make sure that they know that I appreciate what they do and their work. With that, there's things that happen, and a lot of ordinances and stuff created. And I think it's important that we remember and that they know that when these ordinances are created, to me, it feels like an extension of the freedoms that are given to us not only by the Constitution, but the persons who have served in the military throughout the history of this great country of America. And I feel sometimes that those ordinances have the ability or the potential to kind of tread on freedoms or rights, and for and so I hope that they take that really, really serious in the way they do it. And I'm sure they do. And I don't want this to be negative, but very positive. And so I just appreciate the commission and their paying attention to the detail of these ordinances and what happens, because in order for something to happen like that, somebody's right or their freedoms has to be treaded on just ever so slightly. And so, and their ability and their choices, what they can do. So I appreciate that, and I want a special thank you to Matt Kaziran for his effort in making sure that we know what's going on and going into detail and keeping us informed on each of those things. So thank you. I do understand how important they are, don't get me wrong, but it's a big deal. It's serious.
Appreciate it. Any other comments? All right. I'd look for a motion to adjourn. Or just
I
adjourn.
will make the motion to adjourn.
We are adjourned.
That's what that work session helps.
We'd have to listen to that. Holy smoke.